Life controls you when you have no confidence. All you can do is sit and watch and hope that good things happen. This used to be me until something major changed in my life, and now I'm more confident than most people that I know. After 2 to 3 years of talking to strangers on a day-to-day basis as my job, here are a few massive things that I learned about real confidence and some things that you can do right now to see improvement.
Oh Lord, it's good to be here with you, Mr. O'Brien.
So what actually is confidence, and how does it take control of your life if you don't have it? When I was in my early teens, I felt kind of small. I had few close friends and I always felt out of place. I couldn't speak up, start a conversation, or really feel like I was being me. I never really got what I wanted, and I couldn't reach my potential as a social person. I couldn't ask for things. I couldn't talk to people that I liked. My face went red, and I couldn't look at people's faces when I spoke to them. It felt like things just happened to me. I couldn't ask my crush out. I had to wait for my crush to come to me. I couldn't ask for an invitation or see if I was coming. I had to wait for someone to tell me or ask me. If I got the wrong order at a restaurant, I was stuck with it and I ate it. I let life happen to me. On top of that, now that I think about it, I used to think that everyone was thinking about me and everyone was looking at me. And that was because I thought everyone thought like me and I always thought of everyone else. But now I'm a lot better, and I feel like that boost in confidence also carried my social skills to the next level. And now I understand that a major obstacle that most people run into when it comes to socializing, when it comes to making friends and having a good time, and even dating, is a low level of confidence. But how did you or I get here in the first place? How did we end up with little or no confidence at all? I believe that we're all born to be confident, and it's someone else that takes it away from us. If we're all raised in a nice, happy, and healthy environment, we'd all likely be very confident and kind. For me, I grew up in a high-stress environment sometimes where I was reminded almost daily that I couldn't behave. Teachers were constantly on my ass, and they were always disappointed in me. Now, to 5 or 6 year old me, that was who I was, because I didn't know any better. I was just looking to my environment to see what kind of person I was, and I got told constantly. And I carried these beliefs into my young adult life until I got a job in customer service. And believe me, that was scary. Not long after that, I got a second one, and I ended up working 2 at the same time for almost a year. And I've had people that haven't seen me in years, some since high school, telling me that I don't even seem like the same person. I seem brighter and happier, more me. But how did I do it, and how did I make such a drastic change in my personality in such a short amount of time? When I first started the job, I was very worried that something massive would happen. And that massive thing was me being weird and different. I was worried that people would notice if I walked funny or cleared a table wrong, but they didn't. One of the biggest realizations I've had is that no one gives a damn. Truly, no one cares. But the problem is, we all know this advice, but it never seems to really help anyone. I actually had this realization for real as I was becoming more confident. Not before, and I don't think it really helped me get there. Don't give an F feels really good to say, but it's much, much harder than it sounds. How don't I give an F? Why should I? When? What if I just can't do it? Saying stop caring is like telling someone who can't do a push-up to just push harder. It's not... Yes, that's what I want to do. We all know this, but deep down, we might not truly trust it. I believe that we have to experience this first before we can truly believe that no one gives a damn. We have to see it to believe it, and I've seen it. So what did I look for if this didn't work for me? What did I do to actually see it, to realize that no one cares? A lack of social confidence and a high amount of social anxiety is something deeply rooted in our brains. But what is it? What is in our heads that stops us from thinking the way that is healthy? During my time as a waiter and a bartender, I had to ask some tables to leave, some of them being up to 10 or 20 people. They were angry, sad, confused. A lot of the time they even blamed me. I spilt red wine on a girl's light blue dress on my second day. I said, "Oh, sorry, and she smiled with a fake smile and said it was okay. Yeah, okay. One time I got a guy's order wrong and he was not happy and he scolded me in front of a busy restaurant. I looked up, 10 or 20 people were looking at me. I was embarrassed so often. I was rejected so many times. And it really felt like people said out loud how I felt about myself deep down, the negative parts. But then it actually started to work in my favor, which was weird. I went home and I was okay. My coworkers told me, It happens. The consequences of not being good enough as a young adult was so much lower than I'd built up in my mind, even non-existent. I got orders wrong and people didn't care most of the time. I dropped glasses in front of someone and they smashed, and she said, "No biggie, just be more careful next time." It sucked in the moment every time, but I noticed after it happened I felt a bit better about myself for handling it. The desperate pleas for, "Oh, please like me," gradually went away because I realized that no one cares. Mean-spirited and tyrannical people don't control me anymore, and they don't control you either. I realized that after a while, truly. I realized that the correlation between the bad things happening in my mind and them actually happening was almost non-existent. They were so much worse in my mind. So how quickly did this actually work? Now, for the first few months, this made me so much more confident so quickly. You can show yourself that you can do it, and you don't have to do just social things. You can do hard things like sports, waking up earlier, going to the gym, reading, that kind of stuff. Now, I wish that that was the end of it, but it wasn't. There were still some times where things got pretty bad. What's something else you can do daily? Something that I do daily to help me out. One of the biggest contributors to anxiety is something that we all do daily. Sometimes I didn't really want to go to a table. I'll admit it. I just wasn't feeling it, but it was my job and I couldn't avoid it forever. Well, I could, but then I'd lose my job. But sometimes I got what I wanted. And you know what? It made me feel worse. Not better. When we avoid our anxiety, it makes it worse. This is a real thing. If we put it off like homework and we get to the due date, we get controlled by it, that it will just snowball. It'll get even worse. The ideas in our heads get bigger and bigger. They get worse and worse and more unrealistic. We don't get the chance to tell them to shut up and just put them to the test. But when I went for it, when I did it, even though I really didn't want to, I felt fine. Actually, I felt better. It felt like I stopped that snowball and I melted it with a big flamethrower. Good job. Good job, Jack. It snapped me out of it. So if you find yourself feeling anxious about doing something, do it. Even if you're only a tiny bit anxious about it, it'll be a huge help. In my experience, even if it goes horribly, it will still be easy to do in the future. So do it once or twice and then never do it again, because in the future, it'll be so easy you won't even worry about it. Last week, I went to go buy something from the shops and the cashier tried to upsell me on something. Now, I sarcastically said back, "Do you tell that to everyone?" But it came out as... And the cashier responded with, "No, just letting you know." And I felt like shit for about 5 seconds and then I went on with my day. I grounded myself. I didn't let something like that define me. I laughed at myself. I didn't want it to be cringe by letting it be cringe. But sometimes you might find that your confidence vanishes into thin air in a single moment. Maybe it's over a day or a week. Sometimes this happens to me. Some days I'll just be out and about and I'll feel off. I can't chat to people like I normally do and I'll feel like I stick out in public. Even though just yesterday I got someone's phone number, or earlier the same day I talked to a stranger and made a new friend. What the heck is happening here? I thought I was confident and then now I've been run over by a confidence tractor and I'm dead. I'm going to tell you this right now. It does not fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. A bad day doesn't count. It just doesn't count. It doesn't define you. It doesn't put you back at square one. This is the way of thinking that we had that made us low confidence in the first place. If anything, you haven't really changed at all. I dare say on days like this, I feel like I gain confidence because I can practice picking myself up from failing more. I can focus on just showing up even when I don't want to. I always thought it was the case that things like this knocked me down. They put me back in my place, but it's not. So did you lose all of your confidence this week just like that, and you're back to your old self, your old anxious loser self, or are you just having a rough patch? It happens. You're a person. Don't put yourself in a box, okay? Thank you. But where does real confidence truly come from? What fixed it for me for good? What smacked me onto the right path? And what are some things you can do right now that will help? True confidence comes from within. I know everyone says this, but how? Like, what does that even mean? Well, you need to think to yourself, truly, do you think you deserve it? Do you believe that it's even possible? Do you think that if you became confident, you'd make everyone else's lives miserable? I used to think like this, and it was like an invisible brick wall stopping me from being me. So what are some really handy practical steps, stuff you can do today or tomorrow or next week that will massively help you the moment you do them? Well, I've got 4 of them, and the first one is probably not a surprise coming from me. It's therapy. Modern therapy is a lot more effective than most people think. I'll leave some some resources down below so you can do your own research. I've done it and it seriously changed my life. I'd highly recommend it. Okay, so number one. What's number one? Well, it's grounding exercises for anxiety. And one that is very good to use is naming 3 things, 3 sounds, and moving 3 body parts. Really, just name things in your environment, and that will help ground you and get you out of your head. That's the main goal that we try to do with a lot of these exercises, which is to get you out of this circular thinking in your head and just focusing on our outside experiences. Number 2 is listening better. If you listen better, you can understand what you're dealing with, and this can make you more comfortable and confident. You understand how you will react as well as your environment more. I have a toolkit for it and it's in the description. Number 3 is just learning to breathe properly. And a really good technique is called diaphragmatic breathing. I highly recommend you look into it. You can do it during meditation, or you can just do it at random times in the day, maybe before a job interview or a game. I noticed during high anxiety periods of my life, sometimes I would just stop breathing. I remember I sat down on the chair at my first therapy session, and after 30 minutes in, my therapist said, "You've taken about 5 breaths." Breathing properly and deeply really helps me calm down, and it's been scientifically proven that it helps a lot of people calm down fairly quickly at that. And the 4th and last thing that you can do today that will help you become more confident in the future is to listen to me tell you that you deserve confidence. Fuck people that tell you that you don't. They will tell you that you don't in their own little way. A lot of people want you to feel small so that they feel bigger. But most people want you. They want the confident you, the genuine you. Being more confident won't make you an asshole. It doesn't mean you have to be an asshole. It won't make you apathetic. It won't make you rude. In fact, it probably will make you more kind and a better person to be around. Are you having trouble finding a good partner? Well, this video here might help you out. And did you know that listening can not only improve your life, but the lives of those that you talk to? Check this one out to find out more.